There is so much happening in that Pretoria court where Chriselda Lewis is right now. Let us find out from her. I mean, Chriselda, you keeping up with this is quite a big deal because every moment something changes in this particular trial. Even seeing you keeping it up on social media, trying to just get everything out and try and decipher what's going on. Chriselda, another day, another drama. Talk to us. What happened yesterday and what are we expecting today?
Well, that's right, Leanne. There's no day that's predictable inside this court. Recall yesterday we were scheduled for a postponement in this matter, and what we predicted would have been round about September. But when the court proceedings started, Advocate Zandile Mshololo, you would know, wanted a postponement in this particular matter because she wanted to peruse that second docket, which she says, she needed more time to peruse as a result of receiving it late. And what was quite critical was what came out of there. Leanne, there'd been a lot that had been said about the second docket, these parallel investigations that had been taking place into the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. And that docket coming back to court yesterday, in fact, the letter from the Director of Public Prosecutions in the South Gauteng Division saying that no decision had been made, essentially, to charge any of the individuals that were inside the house on the day that Senzo Meyiwa was killed, and that basically that second docket does not have any merit at this particular point, and that was merely an opinion of a junior advocate. That is what that docket essentially said. So when we moved from there, there was due to be a postponement of this particular matter. That's what Advocate Zandile Mshololo had wanted, but much to the objection of Advocate Malisela Tifo, who said, as you pointed out in your intro, that it would not be in the interest of justice. He's questioning quite a number of things. He says that this court cannot grant this postponement because this trial, in the first instance, is not being held in the jurisdiction where it's supposed to be held. Recall, Leanne, as we've been speaking throughout this week and last week, I had indicated there had been some concerns raised about why this particular trial was not being heard in the South Gauteng High Court because the crime scene itself is in Vosloorus, so it would have fallen under that jurisdiction, and why it is being tried here in Pretoria. Those were some of the issues that Advocate Malisela Tifo raised yesterday, also saying that the document that gave that go-ahead for the matter essentially to be transferred from the Johannesburg region to Pretoria was signed by the National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Shamila Batohi, on a Sunday. He says at that time she's supposed to be at home with her family, also saying that she needs to be called to the dock to come and verify or give credence to the veracity of this particular document. He's questioning jurisdiction, saying also that two of the accused had been unlawfully detained. They were not given an opportunity to apply for bail, and saying essentially that a lengthy postponement in this particular matter would not be in the interest of his clients because in the first instance, this matter should not be heard in this court to begin with. And it takes me back, Leanne, to a conversation that I had with the former National Director of Public Prosecutions, Vusi Pikoli, when I asked him the last time that this matter had been postponed. He did say that the National Prosecuting Authority needs to take South Africans into its confidence. At that time, it was about the second docket, which now we have a response to from the Director of Public Prosecutions. The other issue that he mentioned was the issue of jurisdiction. The NPA needs to explain how it arrived at the decision to allow for this case to be transferred, to be heard here in Pretoria, so that everyone is comfortable about any aspersions that may be cast on why this particular trial has been brought here. You know, there have been a number of conspiracy theories about what is taking place, but certainly the NPA, for its credibility, but need to communicate about why this was done. So Advocate Malisela Tifo saying that Advocate Shamila Batohi should come to this court herself and be brought to the dock and come and explain the veracity of this document, first of all, to say indeed she did sign the document, why it was signed on a Sunday. Those are some of the things that Advocate Malisela Tifo wants. So what we're expecting here today is a thrashing out of those nitty-gritties, whether the case will be will be postponed is certainly something we'll have to wait to see if that does take place when proceedings get underway at 10 o'clock this morning.
All right, Chriselda, another day. We'll certainly be watching very, very closely to see what happens on this one. Chriselda Lewis, there in the Pretoria High Court, where the Senzo Meyiwa trial, again, expected to get underway at 10 o'clock. But then again, not so much a trial, but rather arguments coming from the respective teams and advocates and all of the other issues that follow. But thanks, Chriselda. Thanks so much for the update on this one.